In this tutorial I will be explaining how to make up the dog's body, and we will begin by sewing the head onto the body. So firstly, line up the back seam of the head, which runs along here, with the back seam of the body like so. Then, taking one of the yarn ends, thread this through a sewing needle, and then once again, ensuring that the seams are lined up, simply sew the head onto the body. Pick up a stitch from underneath like so. Then working your way all the way around the head, sewing the head onto the body. You may wish to go around the head 2 or 3 times to ensure that the head is very securely attached to the body. I have now sewn on the head, and as you can see, it's nice and secure and not too wobbly. And I've also sewn on the first arm like so. And it's now time to sew on the second arm. As you can see on the dog's tummy, there are some increased stitches, 4 on this side and 4 on this side. And as you can see on the increased stitch here, I followed this line up, and that's where I attached the first arm. So to get the arms in equal position, I now need to do the same on the other side. So once again, looking at this increased stitch here, I'm going to follow this line up, and that is where I will be positioning the arm. So I have stuffed the arm like so. I have threaded one of the yarn ends into a sewing needle, and I'm going to be using this to attach the arm onto the dog's body. So once again, finding that increased stitch, I'm going to follow the line up, and I'm going to insert my needle at this point here and bring it out about 2 to 2.5 stitches along like so. I'm just going to position that there a moment and just pull that a little bit. So, taking the arm, I'm going to pick up the middle stitch here, like so, and then pull the yarn to secure the arm in position. Then going round to the back once again, I'm going to take my needle back into the arm, pull it out once more, oops, and once again picking up a stitch here and sewing the arm all the way around to securely fasten the arm onto the dog's body like so. And just to show you once again, it's just a case of working all the way around the arm and underneath and back around so that the arm is nice and secure like so. I have now sewn on both the arms, and now it's time to attach the legs. and I must admit that the sewing on of the legs is by far the trickiest part of the pattern. So I've already stuffed the legs like so, and as you can see, the foot and ankle are quite firmly stuffed, but then as you get towards the top of the leg, I've thinned the stuffing ever so slightly just to allow a little bit of movement in the leg. So I use the decreased stitches on either side of the dog's body as a guide for attaching the legs. So here we go, we've got 2 rows of decreased stitches here. So what I do is that I position the cast off stitches of the leg on the top row here of the decreased stitches like so, and then the curve here of the decreased stitches, I just allow the curve of the leg to follow that around. So the legs are positioned and are sewn on in a standing position to begin with, like so. So you thread your yarn end from the cast off row into a sewing needle. Then finding those stitches that I just mentioned, the decreased row, I insert the needle approximately into this position here, like so. There's the decreased row, sorry. And then simply pull through, and then, as I said, you simply sew along here, down and around. I have now sewn along the top of the leg and also along the back of the leg, and as you can see, this is the position of the leg in relation to the back seam of the body here. And I've now just got to sew up the front of the leg here, but before doing that I may just add a little bit more stuffing just to make the top of the leg just a little bit more firmer. And here it's just a case of trying different amounts of stuffing until you're satisfied with the standing and the sitting position of your toy. So just before I finish that last little bit of sewing, I'm just going to add just a little bit more stuffing, like so, and then it's just a case of sewing along here to attach the leg to the body. And once again, I perhaps just do one more row of stitches all the way around, just to make sure the leg is firmly and securely attached to the body. I have now sewn on the first leg, and as you can see, it is nice and secure, and it can also be bent into a sitting position like so. So it's now time to sew on the second leg. So once again, it's a case of aligning the cast off stitches with the decreased stitches on the body like so, and then sewing all the way around the leg. I have now sewn both legs on, as you can see, and I have also sewn the dog's tail. And with the legs, they can obviously be in a standing position like so, but then they can also be brought forward to allow a sitting position.